Hello everybody and welcome back to the Craftsman Truck Series here for the first time in a couple of weeks here at the Kansas Speedway as we are underway. Kyle Busch and Zane Smith on the front row as we get underway here in Kansas to see who will be our next winner this season after it's been an interesting season so far with two-time winners in Zane Smith, Stuart Friesen, upsets like Jake Garcia and Connor Jones getting their first career wins, and Travis Pastrana. What will happen next? Right now down the backstretch here at Kansas, Kyle Busch leading the way here in this opening lap of racing. By the inside here comes the 98 of Ty Majeski to his inside. They battle side by side for the lead, battling for position. Majeski now clear of Kyle Busch for the race lead. Big one coming from Eckes behind them. There's going to be some contact. There's trouble there. In the back, Roger Cruz is around. In the wall, Friesen is involved. And a huge crash here at Kansas. Caruth, Friesen involved. The 20 of Nick Lights also in it. Matt DiBenedetto, some damage. What happened here? Opening lap contact there. Roger Caruth around. Friesen collected. Nick Lights as well. We're going to see what happens. Looks like a four-wide squeeze. Caruth, Chastain, Friesen, and DiBenedetto all get into each other. None of them lifting, and they all crash up on the outside wall right there. That's just a four-wide racing incident. A big hit there for Nick Lights. Gets into Spencer Boyd off of Friesen, and then Roger Caruth piles into Nick Lights right there. And the caution comes out for the first time tonight here in Kansas. So there's some kind of this Friesen just got squeezed, and then Chastain got into Cruz as Cruz was coming up, and then there they went from there. Into the wall they go. Caution comes out for this crash here at the Kansas Speedway. Dean Thompson looks like he got clipped right there, got a little bit of Friesen. But not really any guys. I think the only guy out of the race is going to be Roger Caruth in the 24 maybe. No, the 20 Nick Lights. Nick Lights will be out, and maybe Caruth, but Friesen will still be in it as well as Chastain and DiBenedetto. So under caution here for a crash in the front stretch involving Stuart Friesen, Nick Lights, and Roger Caruth as Ty Majeski leads the field here. And now, just like that, Ty Majeski has blown an engine. The engine expires. He's blown up. He's out of this race on lap 6. What happened to Ty Majeski? He's running so well. All of a sudden, the engine blows, and Majeski is gone from this race. And now here a battle at the front between Christian Eckes and Zane Smith. Zane Smith now pulls away, trying to clear Christian Eckes. Got some momentum. He will clear him. Zane Smith clear for the race lead here in Kansas over Eckes. And here comes Kyle Busch. That 51 truck in second now. His best run of the season to date here in the Craftsman Truck Series. Match that runner-up finish he had at Martinsville in our last truck race. He's doing good. Friesen coming up here again, of course. That incident earlier, pretty much not a factor anymore. 3 wide watch out, anchor right there, bang off the door of Mason Maggio in the 33. Back to the front of the field, it is Zane Smith continuing to pull away here, leading the field, but Kyle Busch trying to catch up to him. Zane Smith leads 8 laps in Kansas. And now we're going to move on to the last lap of stage 1 here on lap 40. Kyle Busch leading the way in the stage now. Ben Rhodes right behind him in second, looking for the playoff point. Corey Heim third. Zane Smith, Tanner Grayers at the top. Here comes Ben Rhodes to the inside. What a perfect move by Rhodes to take the lead to try to get the all-crucial playoff point and stage win. That would help him later in the season when it comes time for the playoffs. If he gets in, all these playoff points will be big time in his chase for a championship as they race back to the line here. Rosa, how about Corey Heim? Big on the other. They're going to be side-by-side racing back to the line for the stage win. It's going to be Ben Rhodes winning stage 1 over Heim, Kyle Busch, Zane Smith, Tanner Gray, Nick Sanchez, Eckes, Purdy, Crafton, and Colby Howard the top 10 as Ben Rhodes wins stage 1 here in Kansas. Back underway in stage 2 on lap 45. Ben Rhodes continuing to lead this pack. Kyle Busch back there in second now. Corey Heim dropped down to third place. And the rest of the top 5, Tanner Gray, and how about Chase Purdy in the 4 truck having himself a good run today. Kyle Busch's KBM employee. As now Kyle Busch the inside of Ben Rhodes to the race lead, and just like that, the boss man, Kyle Busch, back to the lead here at Kansas. That 51 truck is fast today, I can tell you that. Kyle Busch is looking scary here. He might be one of the many contenders here for the win today. Looks like he's definitely got the winning possible truck here. Be himself battling Ben Rhodes maybe. Back at the front, we see as we take a look at it, how about the 1 of Tony Bradinger running inside the top 10 in her career debut in the Craftsman Truck Series in that number 1 Tricon Garage Toyota. Props to Tony, having a great run for her today. Running up here in the top 10. Meanwhile, back at the front, Kyle Busch, Ben Rhodes continue to battle out right now. Kyle Busch is clear and trying to drive away with the race lead, but no one's really been able to drive away too far in this race so far because of the draft. But Kyle Busch pulling away here in Kansas, 47 laps in. And now we move on to the last lap of Stage 2. Zane Smith is now leading the way, looking for the playoff point of the stage win. Ben Rhodes right there, close behind him in second. Corey Heim third. Kyle Busch right in the mix. Tanner Gray, Nick Sanchez, lap trucks. Caruth, Friesen, Maggio. Watch out, Ben Rhodes going to get held up behind Caruth. Allows Kyle Busch to take third. Zane Smith to lead. Corey Heim now into second. Down the backstretch for the final time in the stage. Zane Smith, who has been easily the championship favorite this season. So dominant. Points leader all season long. 2 wins. Seems to be comfortably on his way to a championship, pulling away from the pack behind him. Zane Smith wins Stage 2 in Kansas. The runner will be Kyle Busch, Corey Heim, Tanner Gray, Ben Rhodes, Nick Sanchez, Chase Purdy, Taylor Gray, Christian Eckes, and Matt Kraft in the top 10 of Stage 2 as Zane Smith wins Stage 2 in Kansas. Matching Ben Rhodes' Stage 1 win. Now back underway here on lap 84 and lap 85. Zane Smith having a problem, is going to come down pit road and throw away a possible contending for the win after winning the stage. Issues for Zane Smith. He will have an unscheduled pit stop, and that hands the lead to Corey Heim in the 11 Safe Light Toyota for Tricon Garage with his teammate Tanner Gray in second, but they're nearly 3 wide behind him, 4 wide. What a move by Kyle Busch to the outside with help from his KBM driver of Chase Purdy. And here come the KBM trucks on the outside of Tanner Gray trying to unseat the Tricon Garage trucks. As now a big run from Kyle Busch, 51, looking right there behind Corey Heim, continuing to be 3 wide throughout this pack. Heim leading there, 3 wide behind him. The KBM trucks get rid of Tanner Gray, move him out of the way. Watch out, your lap truck in the middle back here, the 47. That is Tim Veens in between Ben Rhodes and Roger Caruth. Here comes Tony Bradinger working her way up to the front once again. Carson Hocevar up here. Ross Chastain right now being stacked up in the middle with Taylor Gray. Eckes crapped out by Haley Deegan back there looking for some positions. Really getting in a good spot now. Hauling on the bottom. Chastain though pulls the inside. Tim Veens doing a typical Chastain move, going the inside of Tim Veens right there. Huge run through the corner. Big another stack up here with Veens. Going to get the 17 Taylor Gray behind. There's going to be some contact, and around goes the 40. So Tim Veens will reckon. Spencer Boyd involved, Friesen in again, and the caution once again here in Kansas. Friesen once again, no luck, gets collected, so that wasn't his fault. This time the 47 of Tim Veens gets turned by Taylor Gray into Spencer Boyd. They go crashing up the racetrack. A big hit there for the 52 of Stuart Friesen. That will definitely knock Friesen out of the race for good tonight. And will definitely collect the 47 of Veens as well. Obviously, the 17 turns the 47 down into Spencer Boyd. They go crashing. Veens, Boyd up the track. Friesen, boom, big hit for Friesen right there. Into the wall they go. And their caution comes out once again here in Kansas late in the going of this race. And we're going to get what Fox does on their broadcast every week. We're going to get our weekly Daniel Dye onboard camera for a wreck right here. You see 47 turns to Spencer Boyd, and Daniel Dye avoids it. Very lucky to see them wrecking behind him. And there is your weekly Daniel Dye onboard camera segment. And so crash here, Spencer Boyd, Tim Veens, Stuart Friesen. Yeah, one last final look at it here before we move on to the closing laps of this race. You see Taylor Gray just turns Veens right there into Spencer Boyd, up into Friesen. Friesen destroyed, Tim Veens destroyed, Spencer Boyd damaged, and caution out. Meanwhile, race leader is Corey Heim. Now we're going to move on to 2 laps to go here in Kansas. Kyle Busch, no surprise there. As soon as I back up with the race lead, Zane Smith a lap down. Behind him, Ben Rhodes is actually in second place, but he's a ways back behind Kyle Busch. And from this point, Kyle Busch can just cruise to his first Craftsman Trucks win of the season here in NR2003 and get KBM rolling on the season. Of course, not one yet with any of their guys in the 51 or Chase Purdy in the 4 truck. Come take the white flag. This time it's the boss man taking care of business. White flag, final lap for Kyle Busch. The all-time leading winner in the Craftsman Truck Series is going to keep on piling on wins here, looking to get Kyle Busch Motorsports. Now, this would be their 99th win at this time in 2023. Obviously, in real life, they're switching to their 100th race win as an organization in the Truck Series this weekend. We'll see if Kyle Busch can get them. But through the final corner, Ben Rhodes trying to close in back there, but not enough time and not enough draft to Zane Smith. And through the final corner, Kyle Busch going to dominate, and Kyle Busch wins in Kansas. Ben Rhodes, your runner-up. Nick Sanchez, Tony Bradinger, the top 5 and 4th. How about that? Christian Eckes, Matt Kraft, and Chase Purdy, Corey Heim, Tanner Gray, and Tyler Eck in the top 10. So props to Tony Bradinger getting a top 5 in her Craftsman Truck Series debut. Bright future for her, but more congratulations to Kyle Busch, your winner of the Heart of America 200 tonight in Kansas. and gets Kyle Busch Motorsports their first win of the season. And looks to start off a great weekend here. See if he can do it again in the Cup race. But out of the race, Haley Deegan as well also had an issue. See the DNS race results left side of your screen. Kyle Busch a winner. And we'll see the standings shortly. Now you see the updated playoff standings. Of course, Zane Smith, Friesen, and Jake Garcia all with wins in the playoffs. But of course, Kyle Busch not eligible for truck points, so he's not looking at the playoffs. But on the points, Corey Heim, Christian Eckes really comfortable. Majeski and Emfinger even still comfortable, at least more than 25 above the cut. Then Tyler Ankrum plus 11 in 8th. Nick Sanchez 9 points to the good in 9th. Hocevar now only 2 points above Ben Rhodes of the playoff cut line. You see the rest of the guys out: Daniel Dye, Chase Purdy, DeBenedetto, Hill, Crafton, Caruth, Colby Howard, Dean Thompson, Josh Rayom, and Chris Wright. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.